Welcome, listeners. Today we're doing a deep dive that's all about becoming well informed quickly. We're taking you on a bit of a journey, actually, to uncover some hidden signals in everyday conversation. Imagine just trying to find the perfect book. Seems simple, right? Well, in Indonesian, this very common scenario can actually, unveil this really rich tapestry of language and culture. Our mission today is to pull out those surprising nuggets of knowledge, help you navigate not just a conversation, but those subtle nuances that really make a language come alive.
Yeah, and what's truly intriguing here, it's how a seemingly straightforward dialogue, it just opens up a whole world. You get insights into vocabulary, grammar, even cultural touchstones. We'll be exploring a conversation in Indonesian, sort of pulling apart its structure, understanding its key terms, and then connecting it all back to, well, broader principles of how language works and how culture shapes the way we communicate.
Okay, so we'll start with the dialogue itself. We've got Hannah and Lisa looking for a book. Then we're going to dig into some specific words, dive into some pretty powerful grammar concepts. And finally, we'll take a quick virtual trip to some real Indonesian bookstores. Ready to jump in.
So we begin with this short exchange, Hannah and Lisa. Hannah kicks it off, asking Lisa if she's found the book she's looking for, and Lisa hasn't. She's struggling a bit to pick the right one. So Hannah asks, what kind of book she needs. Lisa clarifies she's looking for something comprehensive, grammar explanations, lots of exercises for practice, that kind of thing.
Right. That's a great setup because it immediately brings up that challenge, doesn't it? How do we convey precision, suitability in any language? Hannah then offers a recommendation. It's a book with learning modules and an interactive CD. And Lisa finds this, quote, comprehensive enough. And thanks, Hannah. And Hannah calls this book superb. So what is it, linguistically speaking, in that Indonesian dialogue that makes it such a strong recommendation, makes it superb to her? Let's maybe unpack some of those key words first from the dialogue, starting with that idea of comprehensive. That's lengkap, Lengkap. And of course, Buku's book, easy enough. And we have kukok, C-O-C-O-K, that means suit or match. Kari is to search or look for. The latih is to practice. Belajar means to learn. Rekomendasi, well, that's recommendation, pretty clear. Billy is to choose. And kakap, C-U-K-U-P, that's enough.
Right. And the powerful insight here, I think, is never assume a simple translation just captures everything. These words, they seem straightforward, but they carry specific weights, different meanings, in different contexts. Take kokok, for instance. You said suit or match. But it's often used when you're assessing something that fits a kind of common standard, or maybe an ideal pairing, like saying, one is handsome, the other's pretty. They are really suited to each other. In Indonesian, that's yang satu tampan, satu lagi cantik. Mereka sungguh sangat kokok. Sihab kokok there just feels perfect. It conveys that ideal match.
Ah, right. That reminds me, when you're learning a language, you try that direct translation for fit or match, and it just sounds clunky. So understanding kukak properly really unlocks a more natural way of talking, doesn't it?
Absolutely. It's that cultural context shaping what suitable even means. It's not just the word itself. Then there's kikup, enough. It can be an adverb for quantity, right? Like kukup makan, eat enough, or kukup tidur, sleep enough. Simple. But it can also be an adjective for quality, meaning something meets a need, like in I am not feeling well because I did not sleep enough last night. That's aku merasa tidak ina badan karena tidak cukup tidur semalam. So it's about the sufficiency of sleep for well-being there. And lastly, belajar, to learn or to study. Interestingly, you can use it with or without a direct object. So you can belajar secara learn history, that has an object history, or you could just say ketika adik belajar di kamar while my brother was studying in his room. No object needed there. It just means studying. It's these little nuances that really deepen your grasp.
Okay, what I find really fascinating in this dialogue, though, is how Hannah emphasizes what makes this book special. She says, this book not only has modules to learn, but also has an interactive CD to practice. That not only, but also, it sounds really impactful. What's going on there linguistically? What makes it so effective?
That's a great catch. It's what we call a correlative conjunction. Think of it like a health chart, like a linguistic 1-2 punch. It emphasizes two distinct parallel benefits, and they amplify each other. In Indonesian, it's tidak hanya, tapi juga, and it's used to highlight this parallelism. Could be between adjectives, nouns, even whole clauses. For instance, anak itu pandai tidak hanya dalam matematika, tapi juga dalam kimia. That's the kid is not only bright in mathematics, but also in chemistry. Both points get highlighted. Or artis terkenal itu tidak hanya ramah tapi juga baik hati. That famous artist is not only friendly but also kind-hearted. Again, two strong parallel points. It adds real weight.
Okay, so tidak hanya. Tapi juga is like this powerful A plus B structure, highlighting both equally. But then there's this other conjunction, legipula. It seems kind of similar. How does that one differ? Is there like a subtle trap there for language learners?
That's a brilliant way to put it. Yeah, A plus B is good for tidak hanya, tapi juga. Lagipula, it's a bit different. What tidak hanya. Tapi juga stresses two distinct, equally strong points. Lagipula is more about expressing affirmation between clauses. You usually put it at the front of the last clause. It brings in a second point that sort of reinforces the first one, often adding an even more assertive or convincing reason. So maybe less A plus B, more like A and on top of that B, or A and what's more B, for example. Mari makan di restoran itu. Masakannya lezat lagipula, pelayanannya sangat baik. Let's see, at that restaurant, the food is delicious, and on top of that, the service is excellent. The service reinforces why you should go. Or another one, mari berangkat pagi hari. Jalanan tidak macet, lagipula udaranya masih segar. Let's leave in the morning, there will be no traffic, and what's more, the air is still fresh. The fresh air is an added bonus reinforcing the no traffic reason.
Okay, that makes sense. So, using lagipula, we could rephrase Hannah's recommendation. Buku ini sangat bagus. Ada jalannya lengkap. Lagipula ada CD latihan belajar stuff. This book is really good. The lessons are comprehensive and also, like, what's more, have CDs to practice. Come. So if I tidak hanya, tapi juga in that same sentence, would it sound wrong? Or just even be?
It wouldn't sound wrong, no. But it would have a different feel, a different emphasis. The key takeaway here for you listening with these conjunctions is use tidak hanya, tapi juga when you want to highlight two equally strong, distinct positive points. Like they're side-by-side equals. Use lagipula when you're adding a reinforcing point. Almost like saying, and to top it all off, or plus. It adds that extra nudge. It just subtly shifts the emphasis and the whole tone. Let's compare with that house example. Rumah itu sangat bagus, tidak hanya lokasinya strategis, tapi juga harganya cukup murah. The house is really nice. Not only is it in a strategic location, but it's also quite cheap. Here, location and price feel like two separate, equally strong benefits. Now compare that to rumah itu sangat bagus, lokasinya strategis, lagipula harganya cukup murah. The house is really nice. It has a strategic location and is also quite cheap. Now, both give a positive impression, right? But in that second one, using lagipula, the cheap price kind of reinforces the idea that the house is great because of its location. It's like saying it's strategically located, and what's even better, it's cheap. You feel that slight shift It's a fantastic little tool in your linguistic toolkit for adding that extra punch.
Okay, fascinating. So we've broken down the words, we've seen how the grammar builds this layered meaning, but let's step out of the dialogue for a second. What about the actual world of Indonesian readers?
Right.
How does this whole quest for the perfect book play out in real Indonesian bookstores?
Well, what's really fascinating there is the blend you find. It's a mix of local and international influences, especially for younger generations. Comics and anime are huge, absolutely huge. You'll see shelves packed with everything from Japanese characters, think Doraemon, Naruto, to American superheroes like Spider-Man, Batman.
Right, and if you're actually looking for books like novels or textbooks, you'll definitely find two big local bookstore chains pretty much everywhere in major cities. There's Gramedia, they're really ubiquitous, and also Gunung. They're kind of the mainstays of the local book scene.
That's exactly right. And then for readers looking for maybe a wider selection, especially multilingual stuff, you've got international bookstores, places like Kinokuniya, Aksara, Periplus. They're pretty common, particularly in the bigger cities, Jakarta, Surabaya. Their advantage, offering a really broad range of English books, for example. They cater to a really diverse readership. It really shows how global tastes and local preferences kind of intertwine in Indonesian reading culture today.
Okay, so let's try and bring all these threads together then. What's the big picture takeaway?
Yeah.
We started with just a simple chat about finding a book, and from that, we've unpacked specific vocabulary, dived into the pretty powerful grammar of these conjunctions, and even explored the vibrant world of Indonesian bookstores. It's a great reminder, isn't it, that truly understanding a language, it goes so far beyond just memorizing words. It's really about grasping the subtle connections, the cultural contexts, all the things that make communication rich and, well, real.
We've seen how these precise language tools like tidak, hanya, juga, and legipula, they can subtly shape meaning, shift emphasis, and how even everyday things like shopping for a book reflect these bigger currents, a country's global and local influences. These little linguistic choices we make, they're actually quite powerful.
So hopefully this deep dive gave you a bit of a shortcut to being well informed about some aspects of Indonesian language and culture. And here's something for you to mull over. How might understanding these kinds of subtle grammatical differences, like the ones between not only, but also legipula, hey, how might that empower you to express more nuanced ideas in whatever new language you might be learning? Going beyond just simple translations, to truly capture the intended emphasis, the right tone in your own conversations.
Thank you for watching this video. Hopefully useful. Don't forget to like and subscribe.